explicit violence in your writings?
It's what I do, is one answer. I write horror fiction. There is a kind of curiosity that we have as human beings about our life processes. One of our last life processes is death. It's a legitimate subject for curiosity. We shouldn't be ashamed that the macabre or the morbid exercises some fascination upon us. I tell it like it is. If it's there in my mind's eye, I put it on the page. And that seems to me to be a legitimate way to write.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on Written in Red for the special Halloween edition of the Horror Reader and Writers Podcast. Do not attempt to adjust your screen. There's nothing wrong. Everything that the media has been telling you is factual. There's nothing to question. The world is exactly as normal as it should be right now. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Perfectly normal in this end.
Absolutely. It's so incredibly normal that you should never question not anything. Okay? So that's the statement we want to make to open this podcast. But of course, I am horror author Aaron Beauregard of such works as The Slab, Wedding Day Massacre, Scary Bastard, if you're in the mood for a Halloween slasher. And we have Daniel J. Volpe.
Hell yeah, Aaron. Thanks for the intro, brother. But Daniel Volpe, author of Billy Silver, Talia, Awakening Blood, A Gift of Death, and when this airs, my newest book, Left to You, should be just about launching from D&T Publishing, so check that shit out. And Carver Pike.
Thank you. I'm Carver Pike, author of the Diablo Snuff series and the final book in the series, The Maddening, just went live. I'm also the author of Grad Night, Scalp, and a handful of other books. Roland.
Hey everybody, Roland Bursey Jr., author of Unbortion, winner of the 2020 American Fiction Awards. I also placed finalists in the 2019 International Book Awards. I have Paybacks with Witch, and I got Pre-Thanksgiving Stress Disorder, which is on pre-order now. It'll be live November 1st.
Sweet.
We are the Written in Red podcast, but we're also bringing, different various news today. And I just want to reiterate one of the other top stories today. Everything is completely normal. There's nothing weird going on in the world right now. Everything is exactly as it should be. You should not question anything. Or you're crazy. Is that fair, gentlemen? Is that fair to say?
It's completely normal for me to wear these stockings on a weekly basis. Woo-hoo.
Oh my god, I thought you were freeballing, Bursey, not fucking...
That's rolling there.
Yo, that shit is witchy. I love it. All right.
Wicked, even.
But, okay, since we didn't get to do a fucking a spotlight a couple weeks ago, we do want to do an author spotlight today. But just a quick reminder, nothing weird is going on. Everything's normal. And I'm going to say, Daniel J. Volpe, who are we going to spotlight today? I believe the gentleman has a new book coming out, but you've read one of his previous. Is this Jonathan Butcher?
It is Jonathan Butcher, brother. Jonathan Butcher, he is awesome. Definitely a guy worth the deserving of the spotlight. Maybe not from us because we're fucking degenerates, but from other people who are much better than us. He has a new book coming out called The Chocolate Man from the Evil Cookie Publishing. This, I believe, originated as a short story, which I got to listen to in the audio version, which was narrated by Jonathan himself. This short story that I listened to was amazing. It was repulsive. It was violent. And it was absolutely downright disgusting and well written. Jonathan's beautiful English accent, I believe it's English. I mean, anything that's not American's English to me, but pretty much whatever part of England he's from, the UK. He did a great job narrating it. He really added to the character of the Chocolate Man. And Jonathan also just released also from Evil Cookie, Gorefest. He had a story in the Gorefest anthology, which had a lot of great authors: Wrath James White, Armando Rosamilia, Wesley Southard. Somehow I got myself in there as well.
All right.
Jonathan's book also, I believe, is What Good Girls Do, is another one I've seen around. I haven't read that one, but that's gotten a shit ton of praise. So definitely check him out. The guy's awesome on Facebook, super friendly. He always is down to share other people's work. He's always one to comment, to help people out that need it. So that's why I think Jonathan is definitely deserving of this magnificent Halloween episode spotlight. Any of you guys have any interactions with Jonathan? I'm sure you guys do.
I just talked to him a little bit on Facebook and some of the groups and stuff in the comments, and he is pretty cool, man. Really nice guy. That new cover he's got though is sick. The fucking what's it called? The one you just mentioned, the
Chocolate
Man, right? That's some nasty looking shit.
Chocolate Man, I'm gonna post the image of it right now so that you guys can see what the paperback looks like, because it looks fucking awesome. I think he released the 31 Days Godless exclusive too, right?
Yep, I'm looking at that right now. He is releasing on. Oh no, it already is out. I'm sorry. Scats, Splats, and Stupid Twats, which maybe is pronounced twats. It could be twats in with his accent. But whatever it is, it looks awesome. The cover of that one is actually excellent. It's a picture of Jonathan coming out of a toilet bowl with what appears to be feces on him. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, that's the cover I was talking about. I'm sorry. That's the one I saw.
Yeah, that's his short that he released on Godless. And he says that's a prelude to the release of the novel Chocolate Man, which looks like that's going to be should be released actually at the time of this being aired on Godless, and then it should be coming to Amazon on November 2nd. So that is going to be his Chocolate Man novel, and on Godless right now is his Scats, Splats, and Stupid Twats. Check that out.
Sounds like an Oprah book club pick, if I ever heard one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's going to have some stickers on the cover.
Now listen, guys, if you go and you pick up this Chocolate Man from Amazon, you'll be doing the indie horror community a favor. But I just want to remind you, you'll be able to read this, no issues. The world is not ending. Everything is normal. All this shit that you see, everywhere, that's just a facade. Okay?
Facade.
So I just want to make that clear. Might have to hammer that home a little bit, but now I think I've had some interactions with John. Mostly I will just hit him up if I want to have an argument or belittle someone. No, I'm just kidding. I've talked to him a bunch of times. He's always fucking cool. And that's why when I saw the Chocolate Man coming out, I knew that we had to cover it on the show, because he also has that other book. What is it? What Good Girls Do? Is that the title?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody read that by any chance?
I have
No, but I've seen it everywhere though. So I mean, from what I've seen from peers and critics and stuff and readers, it looks pretty damn good. I think it's pretty brutal. So definitely something I need to check out.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, I've seen it posted in the Books of Horror group quite a bit, and so a lot of people that read our stuff, I feel like, have definitely read that too. Like, I've seen them post that. So, if you're not too into the Chocolate Man, maybe you go more with What Good Girls, what is the title? Can you say it one more time? Just want to make sure I got it right.
I will double check it right now, but I am pretty sure it is What Good Girls Do. Yes, What Good Girls Do. Jonathan Butcher.
Yeah, I don't actually have internet. I just have to go off they didn't give me the proper documentation.
The Overlord. I mean, the Overlords, or the producers.
Yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
This is what the Tyrants gave me this, so I'm gonna have to work with this. Yeah. So again, Jonathan Butcher, check him out. A worthy author spotlight. But now I think we're ready for some Halloween fun, guys. I'm very excited.
We are, yes.
I am ready for Halloween
Oh
fun.
yeah.
I'm so ready that I had to make up some. Well, I didn't want to do ruby red slippers, so instead I made ruby red kicks.
Oh shit!
Oh shit, yo, you're the illest.
You are the illest.
I
Yo, you
went
got
out.
dog shit on those things.
They do not have dog shit on them.
Are you gonna click your heels together and do the whole bit, or?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
click my heels and end up in a gay bathhouse.
Woo!
There's no place like home.
Clicking heels and clapping cheeks. A Roland Bursey story.
Yeah, buddy. Roll,
All right.
roll it.
Well, speaking of sweet things, let's talk about what Halloween sort of revolves around a little bit, right? Which, well, at least when we're kids, we always think of the candy, right?
Yeah.
Now I noticed, Daniel, you pronounce chocolate as chocolate.
Chocolate.
So are you guys chocolate guys or chocolate guys?
I'm chocolate. I'm sauce with chocolate.
I'm chocolate. I don't know. Is that somewhere in the middle?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
God damn it, you always got to be a renegade.
Gotta fuck it up.
But all right, let's move on from the linguistics of it. Let's just talk about some candy and shit. Was there any candy that you were stoked to get as a kid, or any strategies that you had when harvesting candy? I know we used to go. Obviously, you go to the wealthy neighborhoods, and they'd be giving out like fucking whole candy bars and shit, and that was sort of our shtick. And I'm a big Reese's peanut butter cup guy. That was like the fucking gold creme de la creme for me. What about you guys?
Oh, yeah.
See, and somebody mentioned on Facebook or on Instagram maybe, it was like a picture of the old, like the peanut butter taffies that were like in the black and orange.
Yeah.
Somebody was like dissing on him, like talking shit about him, and I'm like, I like those things, man.
Oh,
I like those. And I forgot all about them. I don't even know if they exist anymore. Do they still make those things?
I haven't seen them since 1902, so no.
Yeah. Roland was 60.
I forgot Roland's older than I am, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Harvey, the only people that like those things are people that just do strictly missionary. So have at it. But I too really like them. They're really good.
I just forgot about them until I saw that image. I was like, what the fuck happened to those? Those were pretty good. It was like bit of honey, but not bit of honey.
They were
Peanut butter, I don't know.
Roland, what is your favorite Halloween candy?
You know what? This is another Facebook argument that people were like, "Oh, these are so nasty." Candy corns.
I love candy corn, man.
Yeah, it tastes good. Like there's so many people that was hating on them. Fuck y'all.
Have you tried the new ones? The ones that are like candy apple candy corn?
Yeah. Like
Those
the
things are
fall
good
flavors.
too.
Those are
Caramel
good.
apple ones.
Yeah.
See, I'm diabetic. I can't eat all this shit, but I just randomly grab a few,
Yeah.
You
I
can
like
if you're brave
Butterfingers,
enough.
though. The little Butterfingers.
Those are good too.
Those are the best. I always hated when people gave out the shit that like my grandma kept on her coffee room table, like the little strawberry candies that look like strawberries and they've got strawberry jelly and shit in them. Like the cheap ass candies that you see on grandma's coffee table.
Yeah,
They
those
give
things
that
are
shit out on
fucking
Halloween.
gross.
Yeah, you gotta give out like the full candy bars and shit.
Like the ones on Grandma's table are like fucking not even wrapped. They're just like all stuck and congealed together. And, like you try and pick one out.
You pick up one and the whole thing comes up. Yeah. What about you, Daniel?
Scrape lint off of them and shit just so you can find one that's edible.
I think my top favorite candy, especially for Halloween, has got to be Twix. I love Twix bars. So Twix. I'm Aaron. I'm with you. The Reese's peanut butter cups. And I'd have to probably say Almond Joys. I like fucking coconut. So
yeah,
those be my
like
top
nut?
three.
Sorry,
Coconut.
did you say you like nuts?
Yes.
yes.
It's just
Covered in rich dark chocolate, Roland.
Did you know they have a Twix out right now? Like it's salted caramel Twix.
No, I'm old school,
it's so
brother.
good. Yeah.
No, I'll just eat the regular ones.
Stick with the regular ones. All right.
What about a candy that you don't like, that you hated, or anything that you hated getting? Like I hated the people that gave out the apples or the fucking raisins. Like the boxes of raisins and shit to kids.
No, they were good because then you could fucking launch them at their house. You're like, oh, fuck you. You're going to give me raisins? All right, well, guess I'm throwing these at your house. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
What about you, Aaron? Anything else besides Reese's peanut butter cups? Or that was their fucking the best?
Oh, my candies I don't care for. I don't really like, like fucking Speedies or whatever.
The fuck is that?
Or
What is it?
it's like this. Oh no, not Speedies. Fucking Sweet Tarts. I don't really like that shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like sweet tarts. Sweet tarts are good. What about
like Spree. You're talking about Sprees?
no sweet tarts?
Is it
Sweet Tarts and
Yeah,
Sprees are
Spree
similar,
is
yeah.
Spree similar to it? I don't know.
Those are good though, man. Like bottle caps and shit. Like the little
Carver,
Sweet
you
Tarts and
eat
Sprees and
probably the shittiest candy of anyone I've ever met in my life.
that's probably why I'm fucking diabetic. I ate all
Carver's
this-
over
I ate
Carver's
all
over
the
here.
shit nobody else wanted to eat.
You're eating fucking sleeves of Necco wafers and stuff.
Those were the best.
Yeah, you would say that.
You didn't like Necco wafers? What's wrong with you?
I ate normal candy. I do like Skittles though. I mean, those are like not sweet tarts, but they're pretty good though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna go candy, what's you can't. The fruity shit is just not as good candy wise.
No, on Halloween it's gotta be chocolate.
What does it got to be, Daniel?
Chocolate, like the Chocolate Man
Yeah.
by Jonathan
That's
Butcher, comes from
chocolate.
Evil Cookie Publishing.
Gotta be chocolate from
The
the
Chocolate
back.
Man.
From New York, fuck you.
Carver, since you can't eat a lot of candy, you said because of your situation. Are you able to unwrap the candies in the nude and lick them? From time to time and just savor the flavor more than anything.
It's scary to me that that's where your mind goes at times like this.
Have you ever lost a fun-sized bar by
That's what
accident
that's what you
somewhere?
imagine me doing on Halloween is just naked licking chocolate wrappers. Just
No, the
lick-
actual chocolate
licking the
themselves.
coconut off the almond joys.
That's just what I see. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the weird one. I don't know.
No, you're normal. They told
But
you.
there's nothing weird
Everything is
going
okay,
on right
everything's
now,
normal.
guys. Everything's normal. Okay?
Hell yeah.
So, what do you guys, do you think we've beaten up candy enough? Should we move on to another topic here?
Yeah, because I'm actually
Yeah.
upset that Carver eats such shitty candy. But go ahead. Let's go on to something else.
I mean, the fact that he
Hope
licks
it's-
it in the nude
hope
is
it's
nice, though. That's
favorite
good.
costume too.
I hope we're gonna get a ton of emails in from people who love Necco wafers, and they're gonna
What?
back me up on that.
What is a necro wafer? What is it?
A necro wafer is a dead body.
Hey, it sounds like a trigger word.
That sounds like a brand new evil fucking zombie from a book
Yeah.
that I'll be writing. A
Yeah.
Necro waver.
Necco
No.
wafers are like little discs that are just like pure sugar and they're wrapped in wax paper. They look like checkers.
It's like a little. It comes in a sleeve. There's like
Okay.
there's like purple, brown, white.
That is pretty shitty, Carver. Sorry.
They're like
Yeah.
chalky when you eat them. Yeah, they don't really
Yeah.
taste that great, but they're almost like the taste of candy cigarettes, like that chalky, like
Oh yeah.
Pepto Bismol tasting shit. But hey, I like Pepto Bismol too. They should make Pepto Bismol milkshakes.
I agree. I love Pepto Bismol.
I fuck. A lot of people hate Pepto Bismol. I'm like, I love that shit.
It tastes good.
I'm like, yo, this heartburn's awesome. I'll just drink a bunch of this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Make me a
Yeah,
Pepto Bismol shake.
All right, guys, let's move on to movies. Movies is a fun one, You guys got any Halloween traditions, Halloween favorites?
For me, every year, of course, Hocus Pocus. That's like, everybody got to watch that at Halloween. Oh, and
Hold on, Roland. They're filming the sequel here.
oh no shit! I know
Yeah,
they're doing
I drove by the set the other day and shit. It was pretty cool.
Oh, badass, nice. And then The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That's not really a movie, but I like watching it.
Yeah, I always feel like I need to watch Trick or Treat. Daniel, did you fucking watch Trick or Treat yet? It's
Oh,
this Halloween season is the perfect fucking time for you to watch Trick or Treat.
You know what? I actually saw it on Amazon Prime the other day, and I fucking didn't watch it.
Now you're not gonna watch it out of fucking spite. You're just gonna purposely not watch the fucking
I'm never
movie.
gonna watch it. And anytime I go to a convention, I see a little kid dressed up like Sam. I'm gonna front kick him through the wall.
Yeah, brother.
Wearing his fucking wig.
That's become one of my Halloween traditions, and I like watching Halloween 4. That's just one I watched as a kid, as a young teenager, really, probably, but I just like that one. And this is going to go along with my Necro Wafers because you probably don't like it if you've seen it. But the movie The Midnight Hour, have you guys seen that one? It was like a straight-to-TV movie with Peter DeLuise, from 21 Jump Street. No? And LeVar Burton's in it. And the chick, for the longest time, I thought it was Vanity from The Last Dragon, but it's not Vanity. It's Belafonte's daughter. What's her name? Something Belafonte. Where, like, the kid, they steal the costumes from the museum and they go to the graveyard, like, playing a joke on Halloween night, and they read from the old script, and they raise, like, they raise the witch and the fucking mummy and werewolves and all that shit, and it has a lot of music and shit. Somebody fucking sent an email in saying you watched that movie too and you love it, so I don't feel so fucking dumb right now.
Yeah, you and one other person.
I tried to get Jules to watch it one time because I found it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's called The Midnight Hour. And we started watching it, and she was like, yeah, I'm just not feeling this. Like, within the first, 15 minutes of it.
That's a solid choice. I'm sure she made.
Somebody out there has seen The Midnight Hour. Come on. I posted about it in my group, and quite a few people were, they said they liked it too. Roland,
sure.
No?
I've never seen it.
Roland, I can't believe you right now. You're supposed to be on my side with this one. YouTube it tonight, The Midnight Hour.
Fine.
I'll create a spam email, Carver, and we'll send that in and, make you feel better about it.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
You want to go, Daniel?
Yeah. We watch Hocus Pocus as well because I have 2 kids, and it's a great movie. It reminds me of my childhood. Yeah. We always used to watch that. I think it came out when I was, probably, I don't even know, 10, 11, when Roland was 60.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she didn't look like a fucking, as old and tired as she does now. But I think everybody liked Sarah Jessica Parker in that movie.
Yeah.
I will always watch the original Halloween if it's on. That's a classic. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really that I do watch. Really, mainly those 2 are the big ones. I definitely don't watch Trick or Treat and have no intentions to ever see that at this point in my life. Even if I do, I'll never tell you.
What about you, Aaron?
For me, like Daniel, I pretty much end up watching most of the Halloween movies throughout the month. I have the back set, save for the Rob Zombie horse shit. I won't really watch those unless I want a good laugh. And one of the most underrated Halloween movies, in my opinion, even though it's kind of like a bootleg movie, I just think it's awesome. I don't know why I love it. It's called Satan's Little Helper. Has anyone seen it?
Yeah, I've seen at least probably half of it. I know what you're talking about.
So I do like that movie a lot. And then, as I've mentioned previously, the Terrifier movie is pretty fucking awesome too, and I like to watch that on Halloween now.
Did any of you guys watch Halloween Kills yet?
I did.
It was very good.
I loved it, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. Without giving any spoils away, it was fucking brutal, man.
It was.
I thought it was terrible, but I like the kills. Okay, let me say a few things. All right, the things I like the soundtrack.
No spoilers, though.
No spoilers. I like the soundtrack with John Carpenter and his kid and the other guy.
Yeah.
I think that's a tremendous soundtrack. I like Michael. Everything about Michael in the movie I like. I like the kills. Okay. I like the lighting. What I don't like is some of the direction that they went with in the movie. What I really didn't like was the corniness of Tommy Doyle in the movie. He was a fucking cornball dude. Anthony Michael Hall. I'll tell you, I'll take fucking Paul Rudd, Halloween 6, any fucking day over Anthony Michael Hall. He was fucking trash. And I like Anthony Michael Hall as an actor, but some of the dialogue in this film is so cartoonish and ridiculous, it would just never come out of people's mouths.
I mean, I can see what you're saying there, and I did read somewhere somebody said, and it's true, that probably at least 3 different times from probably 3 different people, the line "evil dies tonight" was said. It's like, are this many different people going to say the same line? Like, I don't know. It just kind of, that I did think was a little bit cheesy. I mean, some of the dialogue and stuff, but I don't know, man. I just thought it was fun, and some people didn't like the whole mass mob mentality type stuff, but hell, that happened in Halloween 4 too. I mean, it was some of that stuff kind of happened in Halloween 4, and I think that's realistic. So I think that would happen.
Well, but which is a good reason not to do it again if it already happened, right? But I will say this to defend the film one more time is I loved the Big John and Little John characters in the movie. So that saying their names doesn't give anything away. But they were perfect. Loved that. Okay. So there were a bunch of good things in the movie. But just overall, and I mean, it's because I love the first 3 Halloweens so much, you know, that there's never going to be anything that quite comes close. And
see, but I'm such a big Halloween fan that I like all of them. Like, even the ones that pretty much sucked.
I was going to ask.
It's like, I could watch every single Halloween movie and I'd still love it.
No, I can too. I'm with you on
even
that.
the Rob Zombie ones that I actually don't like at all, I could still watch them because it's a Halloween movie and still, you know.
Did y'all like Halloween? I think it was 3 Season of the Witch.
That's one of my favorites.
Mine
I
too.
like it for its own, you know, its own movie. It's something totally different, and I like it for its own thing, you know. But,
yes, totally different.
Well, and I'll add, Roland, right? Okay, going back to Halloween Kills, right? They sprinkle in trinkets and homage to that movie, which I also like.
Right? From the kids and shit wearing were from
the
that,
Silver
right?
Shamrock masks. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's fucking awesome. Daniel, anything?
That, so.
Are you just high, brother?
Fuck it. Yeah. No, I've actually never seen Season of the Witch, and I haven't seen a new one yet. But
what the fuck? You're a fucking piece of shit.
No, I've never seen it. Now I'm gonna go run to the wall after that hurtful statement from Aaron.
You need to go rent Halloween 3. Don't rent it. Just fucking look it up. It's on fucking. I'm sure it's on one of the free channels. And Trick or Treat. Make a night of it.
I'm all set. You
Come
know.
on, man.
No, I don't.
Then you can come back and tell us how stupid they were and how much they sucked. But at least you could do that, you know.
It's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. So. Did we answer all? We all answered that question, right?
Guys, we all did it.
And we did. And everything's completely normal, right, Aaron?
Everything's normal.
Let me check. Hold on. I'm going to check the most updated stories.
Check that for me? Okay.
I'm being handed some new updated stories here from the producer.
Yeah.
And everything is still completely normal, guys, based on the latest update. Nothing weird is going on.
Thank God for that.
This fucking world is awesome, dude. Like, I love everything that's going on right now. It's like perfect. Every day I wake up, I'm like, woo, this is how I imagine life to be, baby. You know? Holy fucking shit, guys. Don't worry. Don't fucking worry. Everything's good.
Everything's perfect.
Fucking good. It's fucking good. We've got one of them that can see. We've got one of them that can see. All right, guys. So that is best movies from the Written in Red podcast hosts. Let's talk about Halloween books real quick, guys. Anything?
I think for Halloween, for me as a kid, it was always like Scary Stories Tell in the Dark. That was kind of those things where you all hang out and around that time and you read fucking scary stories. You creep people out. You always try to sneak up in those jump scare stories. So for me as a kid, that was probably my go-to Halloween book was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Where is my toe?
Yeah, the big toe.
I can't agree with you more, Daniel. I fucking love Scary Stories, and it's a perfect Halloween thing. I think there are, even though a lot of them don't relate to Halloween, it's like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
No.
Like they're just perfect for any occasion. And I've actually got a few books here, which it's funny because I think we tend to go young when we think of Halloween books. You know, these three books, which is Halloween, the Scream Factory by Kelly
nice.
O'Rourke. So these are
I've
two.
actually tried to get my hands on those. Those are expensive now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really hard to find. And then the number 2 is the Old Myers Place.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
number 3, which was the final in the series, was the Madhouse. And these were young adult fiction, incredibly violent, and just they'll fucking kill mad people in this in very terrible ways. You just didn't see something you didn't see a lot in young adult fiction at that time, at least what I was reading.
Yeah.
So, like Carver said, they're super fucking hard to find, but if you can somehow come across them in like a used bookstore, you better snatch them, because I mean, even if you don't want to read them, you could probably resell them for a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and throw up these R.L. Stine Fear Streets, Halloween Night, and Halloween
I'm
Night
gonna
2.
come rob you for your young adult collection.
Yo,
Yeah. R.L. Stine even those Fear Street books, some of those are really fucking fairly violent for YA books.
yeah, I believe this one didn't, I don't think, spoiler alert, there are any actual deaths in it, but it's still awesome, and it's still like a real cool like mystery. And then in this one, I believe there actually was murders in this, and that's when I was like, oh shit, like R.L. Stine's fucking killing people, like, and it was pretty violent, you know, like, but just the death in one of these books in general, like, you're not really expecting it as a kid. So, these are some of the ones that I liked when I was growing up.
Did you guys watch those movies, the Fear Street movies?
I watched the first 2. I haven't seen the third one yet.
I thought they were really good, man. I wasn't expecting to like them as much as I did. Like, I almost want to go back and watch them all over again. I really liked them a lot.
I can't recall if I've seen them before. This is something recent or old?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
new. I
they
mean,
just came
newer
out.
within the last few months. They're on Netflix.
On Netflix. They came out in the summertime.
Oh, nice.
You got to watch them in order, though. I mean, there's a part 1, 2, and 3, but they put them out like a week or two apart. So I mean, it was like part 1, bam, 2, and 3 right away.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
pretty cool. It's worth watching for sure.
I will say, Are You Afraid of the Dark came out, and that was pretty good.
Yeah.
A movie?
Yeah, the movie it's like a movie.
Newer one though, or the
I
newer
haven't
one?
seen that.
Well, I love the old one, but they just came out with one on Netflix, and it was pretty good. I watched it with my wife.
Yeah, I
used
haven't
to
seen
love
that
that.
one.
I loved that show when I was a kid. That show was awesome.
Yeah, me too, dude. Carver, books, Halloween books. Any suggestions here?
I wish I could say yeah, but I don't read quickly enough to read a book specifically during Halloween time every year. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that I've read the novelizations of the Halloween movies, part 1 and 2, and I've got the 2018 film on audiobook, which I've been kind of listening to here and there. But I've got Ray Bradbury's The Halloween Tree, which I have to admit I'm a huge Ray Bradbury fan, and I've never read it. Everybody always talks about The Halloween Tree being their favorite Halloween book and stuff like that, so I picked it up for this Halloween, but I just haven't cracked it open yet. And it's short, so I'll probably read it this year. But yeah, I don't really have anything specific that I read for Halloween.
Roland?
I'm sorry I let you guys down. I'll leave.
We're used to it, Carver.
Hey, yeah.
I'm gonna
I think
go eat my
mine-
motherfucking Necro wafers and watch Midnight Hour on YouTube, fuckers. Peace. I'm out.
I think mine would probably be The Night in the Lonesome October by Layman. I don't know if you guys read that before.
No, but I
No.
want to.
It's good. Night in the Lonesome October. That's the name of it.
Sounds good.
Everything's still okay.
Everything's
Everything
fine.
okay?
Nothing to be afraid of, guys. All right, well, now that we've all kind of thrown out a little Halloween book, you guys want to talk about costumes? Like, do you guys have a favorite costume that you did? Or maybe even one that you saw that was just awesome?
Do you have the list of Donna's questions, damn it? Because you're asking all her questions.
Oh,
Oh, good.
Did you?
No, this is I just literally just the producers handed me this moments earlier before we went on air.
I've been hanging on to ask her questions. I've been holding them for this episode, and this is the third of her questions you've asked.
Well, I mean, as long as we get them answered, as long as we get them answered one way or another, we're good, right?
That's true. I'm just gonna later on mention which ones Donna asked.
Yeah, we'll go down the list and see which ones.
This is one of the questions Donna asked. So we're talking about favorite costumes. You said.
Look, I don't want to raise your blood pressure. Okay, I want to keep it nice and safe, regulated levels. Nothing weird going on here, people.
Nothing weird at all.
okay. I have a favorite one that my dad did when he was younger. Like, the moss you see hanging on trees out, just moss hanging on trees. So he decided to go gather a bunch of this moss, put it on a sheet, and like glue the moss to the sheet. So he was like this moss man. And after the next day, he didn't realize there were little bugs all in the moss. So his ass was itching and scratching. They were all over him. So that was probably one of my favorite memories. And then when I was younger, I actually took the stuff they put on the mattress to make it a little softer, like foam. And like I wrapped it around my body, wrapped it around my stomach, my chest, my legs, and I went and got these huge overalls. So I was like this big. So that was a fun one for me.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Carver?
You,
when I was a kid, I was just a ninja all the time. If I could be a ninja every fucking year, I would be a ninja every fucking year. I don't know what it was with ninjas.
Mhm.
I had like a ninja obsession as a kid, watching ninja movies like Last Dragon and Ninja 3 and Revenge of the Ninja and Enter the Ninja and fucking whatever the hell else ninja, American Ninja. So yeah, I was just a ninja like every year. I can tell you the one costume that I fucked up on that was my least favorite costume. When I was a teenager, I couldn't think of a costume, so like at the last second, I said I'm gonna be a car crash victim. So I just took gauze. I took gauze and a friend helped wrap me up in gauze. I almost looked like a mummy. I was just all wrapped up with like fake blood on myself, but I was so wrapped up that I was stiff. And then we went to like parties and I couldn't enjoy myself because I couldn't move. I was just like stuck, like fucking. Everybody else is like moving around and having a great time, and I was like stuck, like I couldn't fucking move because I was in this gauze. So to even have a good time at the party, I had to get out of the costume anyways. But and then I was just in like boxers, so I couldn't. I was like in underwear, so I was stuck in this fucking gauze all night. Yeah,
Yes.
it sucked.
I got a few. Let me see. So one of them that I did that I thought was pretty cool was a back alley rapist, and so I just did like a trench coat with like boxers underneath, and then I put like a pantyhose, like a woman's pantyhose over my face. Like, believe it or not, just a straight up pantyhose on the face looks so fucking creepy, dude.
Yeah.
Like it mushes your nose back and shit, and it just looks awesome. And then I did like, I had like a pair of women's underwear and like covered in blood. I'm sure that costume would go over well, around these times. But,
You were wearing a pair of women's underwear?
I had like a pair of them, you know what I mean? Like a pervert. But yeah, I might have slipped them on later. It's possible.
Whatever you like.
Yeah, here we go. Our show just got canceled. Thanks, Aaron.
You're welcome, guys. The other thing that was pretty cool was a good friend of mine, Mike. He's been on the Evil Exam podcast, but basically, he did this awesome depiction of the Crow. You guys ever seen the movie The Crow?
Oh, yeah.
We have. Daniel probably hasn't.
I have seen that one, motherfucker.
That's what's up. Yeah, brother. But basically, like,
He probably hasn't seen part 1, but he's seen part 2, 3, 4, and the TV show, but not part 1.
Yep.
that sounds about right. But basically, Mike painted himself up, and he did like the straight up like real like hardcore paint, like it was layered on, like to where his face was stiff, and he had the whole '90s getup, the gothic black with the chains. And this dude is massive, like he's fucking got to be like 6'3", a good 300 pounds, and Like the funny part was though is that if you ever watch professional wrestling back in the day, Sting, he was a wrestler and he did a
Yeah.
gimmick that was similar to the Crow, like he looked like the Crow. And so these other dudes showed up and they were all dressed like the NWO. And then he started getting fucking heated. He was like, "They're gonna think I'm fucking Sting." You know what I mean? Like, cause he wanted to be the Crow. And then Mike went ahead and he started, taking fucking like he had work the next day, but basically just said fuck it and started taking all kind of drugs and drinking and just bugging out like Molly Mike. We call him Molly Mike when he starts wilding out. And it was so sad. Like the next morning, he just woke up. He's like on the couch, just sleeping like a baby and shit. And then his whole face was all crusty and shit. And then he had to like drive home like that. It was just kind of ended sad, but yeah, that's the story. Mike, his downward spiral.
Lost his job. Fucking
Yeah, nothing was right after
dumped
that.
by his girlfriend. It's fucking horrible. Sad.
For me, like Carver, when I was like younger, it was a ninja every year. It probably because we didn't have a lot of money, so it was like I just wear black sweatpants and a fucking bandana, and I had a sword, and I was a ninja. But when I was a little bit older,
Can you elaborate on the sword that you were using?
it was just a shitty plastic white sword. I still remember it.
Well, we know it's white.
Yeah, it's a blade. And then when I was a teenager, it was always fuck. I think I was what the fuck's the guy from Scream? Ghostface, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
That I had that wore that costume for like 3 years in a row because I didn't grow since like 6th grade, as you guys could tell. So it always fit me, so it was great. But I got a lot of use out of that one. But those are my my go-tos: Ninja and Ghostface.
I noticed both of you guys doing, a lot of ninja between you two. I hope neither of you got the ninja. Is that fair to say?
Wait,
Either
what?
what?
Neither of you got the ninja? Is that fair to say?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
All right, we'll leave it at that, gentlemen. It's all right. So that was what was it? Costumes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
I hope that was what it was. I mean, if not, God help us. But you guys got any good like Halloween party stories? Any?
Party stores and
No, I was a good kid, man.
Yeah, you're always a fucking good kid when the camera's turned on, you piece of shit.
Yeah. Nothing gets disclosed. Carver's statute of limitations aren't up yet, so he can't disclose anything. But
Trying to think, good Halloween party. Not really.
did you eat a bunch of Necco wafers?
Probably.
Go to sleep by 10 o'clock?
Probably drank a bunch of Saint-Ides and puked. That's about it.
Oh my god.
Different colored Saint-Ides.
I don't know what that is. Isn't St. Ives a lotion?
That or malt liquor, sure.
Yeah, Saint-Ides, not Ives.
Oh, I can't hear you.
The malt liquor, the big bottles, they were like different colors. We always made it a mission to drink one of like each different color, just knowing we were gonna fucking puke, because you can't have that many different sweet flavors of liquor or what malt liquor in your stomach at one time. So you always get the red one, the orange one, the fucking blue one until you're throwing. It's like Mad Dog 2020 now.
I was
The
just
fucking
saying. Yeah, like Mad Dog.
that sick shit. Yeah, that's what we were drinking back in high school till you'd fucking puke your guts out.
Sounds about right.
That's fucking heroic shit right there.
Yeah. You're like a war hero with that.
I did I have an annual Halloween party that I host at my house that gets pretty out of control usually.
Nice.
My idiotic friend fucking like ripped off the top of the microwave last year. Like I'm like, Kevin, bro, like how are you so stupid that like you literally don't even see like the handle? Like he pulled it from the top and ripped the fucking top piece of it off. I'm like, dude, you're so lucky I've known you for so long. Like I hate you in this moment. But we do this brain contest where I make a big ass Jello brain, and then two people will be selected to compete against each other, and whoever can eat the brain fastest. And last year, this girl Sarita won, and my friend Little George, he fucking he said he'll never eat Jello again. Like he went home and he just kept fucking because he was drinking too, but I guess he just kept puking and he thought he was
It is
puking
just
up blood
plain
and
Jello.
shit.
It's not like Jello with alcohol in it.
No, dude, it was just straight up Jello. So I don't know if the sugar just got to him and like fucked his insides up, but he said he's never been able to eat Jello again after that, which I'm kind of proud of that. I'm not gonna lie.
That's like when you go to the hospital and all they give you is fucking Jello for like days. It's the same way. You can't touch Jello again for a long time, man. 'Cause that's all they'll give you is like chicken broth and fucking Jello for like a week.
Yeah. Anne Rice has a party in New Orleans, and then I've always wanted to attend, and I heard it's like the baddest party. Of course, it's Anne Rice, so of course it's gonna be this huge shindig. But I've never been, but I always wanted to go. So.
Oh, is that like one of those elite things where they be drinking baby blood and shit? Is that why you want to go?
Probably is.
That's how he stays so young looking.
Anne Rice is, right?
That's why Roland still looks like he's 25.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Oh man.
All right, well, that's just some party stories and shit. I got a lot of others, but I think that's enough. Why don't we, Carver? What do you say? Why don't we see? Is there any questions that Donna asked that we didn't answer?
Yeah, one.
Well, I'll fucking ask you.
All right. So I'm just gonna let you know, Donna Latham wrote in and asked a few questions that were specific to Halloween. So her first question was about the Halloween costumes. Then she asked about a Halloween themed book. We answered that one. She also asked about favorite Halloween candy. We got to that.
Dang.
And the one we didn't answer yet is if you could pick one horror movie monster / killer to write a book about, who would it be?
Ooh.
That's good.
You go first, Carver.
See, I think I'm gonna or is it just me and you, Daniel, or what happened? I only see you. Is it my internet probably?
No, Roland's they're still there.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just my internet probably. Anyways,
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I guess I'm gonna go with Michael Myers on that, but it's been done so much. So much has been done. It would be hard to write anything that hasn't been. I actually no. You know what? I take it back. I would like to write something about Friday the 13th, but I've always toyed with the idea. I think it'd be really cool if there was a TV show based on Camp Crystal Lake in the area around it, and then on Jason and all that kind of stuff. But kind of like with the remake of the movie, how there was like the weed being grown around there, and kind of like Bates Motel style, but do that with Friday the 13th and the community around it and stuff like that. There could be other shit going on, and it's just so I think I could do something cool with Friday the 13th. So I'm gonna go with that one, just because I love Halloween. It's my favorite, but it's just been done so much already. They've done so much with it that they kind of beat it to death.
I think for me, one of my favorite scary horror movies ever is Candyman, and I think I would do Candyman because in the original one, the only one in my opinion, we see Candyman in the 90s, and you get a little bit of his backstory, from in the past. But I'd like to see what happens in between those 2 points in history. So I definitely would write some kind of prequel backstory to Candyman.
Me, mine would be the Zuni fetish doll from Trilogy of Terror. I think that's like the creepiest little doll out there. So, I mean, I'm sure that'd be a badass story, centered around him. That's one of my favorite movies, and Karen Black, and of course, is iconic, isn't it? So.
That's a really good pick, Roland. That's like underrated too, I think.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people forget about that, but if I was gonna pick, I would say for me, I would go a little different direction. I might go Pumpkinhead. I think Pumpkinhead is a really cool,
that'd be cool.
movie that doesn't get brought up a lot. Like it's known, but you know what I mean. It doesn't get brought up and get a ton of attention. I think that one's incredible. And maybe I don't know if you guys have probably seen Maniac Cop, but there's another series called Psycho Cop that is like way lesser known, and I would do another one of those. I think those would be incredible. They're super fun. They're ridiculous. really fun.
Nice.
Another one that I think would be kind of cool, or actually two that I want to mention that you made me, when you mentioned Candyman, Daniel, I think Nightbreed would be kind of cool, especially with my dark fantasy kind of background.
Isn't
Yeah.
that, that's
it's
Clive
kind of
Barker,
cool.
right?
Yeah, I'd like to dive a little into see now, but I haven't read the book, so I don't know the actual story from the book. But just based on the movie, I mean, I feel like there could be a lot more added to that story that could be really cool in that world. Or The Collector, man, I love those Collector movies, and there's supposed to be another one of those movies coming out, I think.
Those are awesome.
I love the Collector movies, yeah.
But what about
That
what
would-
about fucking What I'm Wearing, dude? What about They Live? This is one of the greatest horror movies ever, dude. Like, this is one of my top, like, most favorite everything. You got the epic fight scene with Roddy Piper and what's his name? I love him too. Keith David, and just incredible, like one of the longest fight scenes in cinema. Some of the epic lines, right? Fucking when Roddy Piper comes in the bank, right? I'm here to kick ass
That's
and
one that I
chew
need to
bubble
see
gum,
again. I haven't seen that in a
and I'm
long time.
out of bubble gum. Fucking genius, dude. I think there could be more in that world. You know what I mean? Although They Live is like really a nice tight story, and the way that it finishes is just hilarious too. And like when they're all kind of revealed and shit. But I think that's another movie that is just so fucking awesome that does not get enough credit. You know. And
Yeah.
I will say so relevant. You know. So.
Any other questions in there, Carver?
No, that's it from Donna. I mean, I had a couple other questions that I came up with. If you guys want to tackle those.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever? Are there any games that you guys ever played for like Halloween parties or anything like that? Any creepy? Like we used to do. We did Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board was one of the ones we used to do. You guys ever play that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that kind of stuff? Is there some? Do you guys anything like that you guys used to do?
Bloody Mary? Have you guys ever played Bloody Mary?
Yeah, Bloody Mary. Yes,
Yeah.
we've done that before too.
It's really easy to get in your own head with that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
There was
one of the-
another one. Go ahead, Daniel.
No, one of the things we used to play, and it was always kind of like somewhat of a tradition around Halloween, especially, was we would always, because it got dark early, we'd always play like Manhunt. It was never hide and seek when it was dark. It was always Manhunt at night, and
Yeah.
we would always play that, and that was always fun. That was always a good time, especially in the fall when it was dark at fucking 5 o'clock. So that was another big one.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to play with flashlights. You guys play like spotlight tag, kind of.
No,
Basically,
we
kind of like
weren't
Manhunt,
we
you
weren't
had to
pussies.
catch
We
them
just
with
ran
the
around in the
flashlight.
dark.
Just bumped into
Yeah.
shit.
We just ran aim as fast as possible into shit in the pitch black and fucking use those pussy flashlights.
We can't afford batteries.
There's another
Yeah.
one. I can't remember the name of it, but there's one similar to Bloody Mary that's I can't remember the name of the game, but it's basically the same type of thing. You're in front of the mirror, you say its name however many times or spin around or whatever the fucking rules are for this game. And then so you see this demon like far back in the distance in the mirror, and it's like running towards you. And if you don't turn the light on before it gets to you, like if it jumps through the mirror, then it's like stuck in your world, like it attacks you, and then it's like stuck in your house. I can't remember. I was trying to find it. I was looking it up before the show tonight, and I couldn't find the name of it. I can't remember what it's called, but that one sounds creepy, man. I don't know if I'd play that one. I don't need any shit jumping in my house.
You're an adult now. You realize that, right?
Yeah, I don't care.
Just checking.
I don't care. That shit. No, fuck that shit.
What about the Ouija board?
Oh
Do the
yeah.
Ouija board on
I'm
Halloween?
not fucking around. I did that so many times as a kid, teenager, and shit like that. But nowadays, I wouldn't fuck around with it. I think too much crazy shit does happen with those things, man. I took too many chances.
Ouija board? Any you guys own one?
A
No,
Ouija board?
Oh
No.
yeah.
no.
He's got one.
Aaron's probably got one, right?
Oh, I
Yeah.
got that exact one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was dumb when I was a teenager. I didn't give a shit. I actually ripped one in half one time to hold up my window. So, I mean,
Yo, that's
I didn't give a
badass.
shit at that age, but now I'm like, yeah, no, nope. And my last question that I had was like, it kind of ties into that because Bloody Mary could fit into it too. Is like, what's a like an urban legend that scares you the most, or that you think could be true, or one that just kind of creeps you out?
We always, by where I live, we have probably within 15 miles, there's a state and federal prison, and it's like a max prison. So there's always, they have like the worst of the worst in the country, some of these guys, and it was always that like the escape prisoner kind of thing. And
Yeah.
you always sitting out in the woods with your friends bullshitting, and somebody would tell a ghost story about the escape prisoner, and it could have been a reality for us because we did live close to prisons. So that was always an urban legend, the hook hand kind of guy, or the escape prisoner lurking in the woods looking for fucking kids to kill. So that was ours.
Yeah.
Roland, what about you?
In New Orleans, we had the legend of the Gown Man. I don't even know how that started, but all I know is that if you he would hide in the trees, and like when you were passing under the tree, he would jump down on you and take you and run away with you. So it was the Gown Man in New Orleans.
Yeah, but what if he was taking you somewhere cool as shit, like a party
Back
or
to
something?
his bedroom? Yes, I would go.
He's gonna learn.
He
grabbed
said
the
the
ball.
about to
cow
run away
man?
from me.
Yeah,
Get this fucking boy off of me.
It's the cow
I
man,
don't
like
like what the
COW cow.
Don't have a cow, man.
yeah.
What about you, Aaron?
In Rhode Island, we got this local lore thing that's called a puck wedgie, and
Oh,
it's like a little trollish creature. It's like a trickster sort of thing that's in the woods, and
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of trick you. It sounds like Roland is very familiar with this.
yeah, it's a type of fairy, actually, almost like a type of fairy or a brownie or something like that.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
That's one of the more popular things over here. Actually, it's not even really super popular, but it is known to be supposedly over here.
Oh, cool.
Well, the other
It's
thing that
funny
I
how
have,
every area has its own thing. When I was growing up, we had like a bunch of those stories the kids would tell. Like there was a guy they called the Whistle Man. That if you heard him like whistling at night and shit, you're supposed to run because that meant he was coming to get you and all this stuff. And we would play like manhunt and stuff like that at night, and then somebody would say they heard whistling, and everybody would be fucking hauling ass to get home, because they thought the Whistle Man was in the neighborhood and shit. Then there was one they called the Pillowcase Man because it was supposedly this old like homeless guy that would drag a pillowcase down the street, and it was supposed to be like that he chopped people's heads off, and you'd find the pillowcase floating in your pool and shit like that, like with the head in it. Like there was all these fucking stories about um these just random killers and shit in the neighborhood and stuff that kids would always tell. I always
So-
thought you guys have heard of that elevator game, right?
Yeah,
I think that's kind of creepy. There was a whole episode of that show Evil. You guys watch that show?
Oh, yeah, it was good.
They did a whole episode of that show based on the elevator game.
that's where
And it was
just
kinda cool.
for the listeners, that's where if you press all the buttons like crazy at once, like you could travel to like a fucking alternate dimension or some shit.
Well, I don't know the exact rules of it, but in the show Evil, when they were explaining it in there was like a certain method to it. You had to do a certain floor, go up there, let the door open, and like peek out, then go to a different certain floor, and you had to push like two buttons at once, and like there was like a certain method to it, and then when the doors opened, you were like in hell or something like that. So, and people
So-
supposedly disappear that way. So
one of the things we had by me, and this was actually in my neighborhood, we had an old man we used to call Crazy Pete, and Crazy Pete literally lived in a fucking like tar paper shack, and he was crazy, and he was always hammered drunk, and he was always outside yelling at nothing, just screaming incoherently at things, babbling, and eventually he died. And there was always like the urban legends that Crazy Pete was still in his shack. So it was always kind of one of those things that go up and knock on the door, and nobody would do it because we were all fucking chicken shit. But then you'd be walking past it at night, and all of a sudden you'd hear like, supposedly you start hearing like yelling and screaming coming from the shack, and you would just fucking haul ass, like and run as fast as you can home. But Crazy Pete, he was probably just a nice crazy old man, just like the booze a little bit, but scared the shit out of us as kids though.
Nice.
we had a guy in our neighborhood that it's funny because the way you're dressed reminds me of him. We called him the Hulk Hogan man because he had
Oh, yeah,
long
brother.
blonde hair. And he had a blonde kind of handlebar mustache, kind of like you have.
Yeah.
And I was riding one time with my friend Steven, and I had him on. He was on the handlebars of my bike, and we were riding over to a friend's house. There was going to be like a big kind of sleepover party at this girl's house, and so we were riding to her house, and behind us we saw this guy that we'd heard about, this Hulk Hogan man. He had followed Steven's brother like the day before, supposedly followed him home, and we didn't really believe him, but he's talked about this guy that looked like Hulk Hogan that followed him all the way to their house, and then he ran in the house. And anyways, he was telling us about this guy. Nobody really believed him. So here we are, we're riding, and Steven's on my handlebars, and I glance over my shoulders, and there's this dude that looks like Hulk Hogan on a 10-speed bicycle behind us, probably a good 20 feet or something behind us. And he's following us, and we're going all these crazy ways that it's pretty obvious he's following us. Like he wouldn't be going the same way we are. So he followed us all the way to this girl's house. We run into her house. We'd run in and tell her mom. We're all like 13 or something like that. We run in and tell her mom, and everybody runs. We look at the window, and sure enough, this guy's circling the neighborhood. He just keeps passing her house and looking at the house. This Hulk Hogan looking guy on this 10-speed bicycle, and then finally he like took off. But
Oh, wow.
he was the Hulk Hogan man. We'd see him around the neighborhood and shit like that, and freaked everybody out. So you never find it when you wanted to, but he would follow you whenever you're out and about.
When you live in a city, like, well, I don't know if you lived in a city, but I feel like I lived in like a 1 square mile heavily populated melting pot of ethnicity city, like when I grew up, and like we had all kinds of strange folks constantly walking around, like you guys said, you have these names for them, you know what I mean? We had one guy called Bagman. He was weird. He used to like carry this bag around, and like you said, a lot of these guys, it's like got to be some kind of mental illness. They're like rambling to themselves and like screaming and shit while they walk down the street. We had this other guy, we called him Henry, and he always wore big ass headphones, and he'd be like just walking down the street like this, and you'd be like, yo, like I dare you to fucking take his headphones, that type of shit, or I dare you to take his bag, like trying to tell each other to do shit. But yeah, dude, just completely filled with fucking strange people. I love it though. Those characters, I tend to draw like a lot of inspiration from meeting those sort of people in my life, I feel like, as a writer anyway.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any particular, like, any haunted houses that you've been to that you thought was like badass, best haunted house ever?
Lizzie Borden house was good.
Oh, nice. I never.
No, I never really. We had a couple of there was an old hotel that wasn't too far from where I live now, and it was just creepy to be in there. But I've never really been anywhere where I was like, oh man, I think this is really haunted, or I did go last year. I went I went away to Long Beach Island in New Jersey, and it was like just after the season ended. And I went with a friend of mine, and we stayed at this old ass hotel because nothing else was really open. It was like a mom and pop hotel. And we stayed there, and it was creaky, and it was just old and weird. And I ended up reading on the history of it, and they actually had a really bad shipwreck that happened right off the shore of the hotel. And in the basement of the hotel, they stored all the bodies until they could get them out of the island. So there was like dozens, if not 100, dead bodies from this shipwreck stored in this hotel, and that was pretty creepy. I mean, I don't think that any of the creaks and cracks were fucking ghosts. It was probably just because the building was 150 years old, but it was pretty cool just to be there.
Yeah, that's like almost half as old as Roland and shit, right?
Yeah, just a skosh.
All right, guys. I think this was great. We had a good time. I mean, I think we had a good time, did we?
We did have a good time.
It was pretty good.
Okay, it was pretty good. I enjoyed you guys dressing up. Thank you for participating. I think we all look like fucking weirdos, which is great.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary for us.
Yeah, no, not really. And it's nice to see Daniel with hair.
This is actually like. It's so nice. Like I just don't even want to take it off. I might have it surgically implanted like Joe Dirt into my fucking scalp. So it's really nice.
Cornrows though.
Oh yeah, I was at the end. Did that? Yeah, it's got fucking.
Beautiful. That's gorgeous.
Dude,
Select
I'm
favorites.
gonna bring this to fucking Scares That Care. I think. Where's the flamingo shirt?
Yeah, actually, we're going to talk a little bit about conventions next week and Scares That Care as well. We're going to get into all that, and we're going to do some mailbag questions before we get back on track to the self-publishing arc. We will get back to that, but we all did a bunch of cons recently, and we have some announcements. So we think it's important to hit on that stuff because as you do more of these, you learn things, and it's good to share it while you remember it. So we're going to be doing some stuff on that. Now, I guess if you want to see our costumes, if you've been listening to the show wondering why we all sound fucking weird and shit, go on YouTube at least and check out these costumes. I mean, Carver must have invested at least $11.99 on his, and I think.
No way, that's $8.99. You got that at the fucking drugstore.
$9.99.
Oh, that's close.
All right, the happy medium. But definitely check out the YouTube.
Both fucking failed.
Check out the YouTube, right, guys, to see these different costumes. You should check it out and subscribe. That always helps us out. And let's talk about our upcoming work and shit before I play us out. I'll start. Aaron Beauregard, of course, as you know, and what I want to talk about today is just the book So Sorry that me and Daniel released. Over 20 illustrations in the book. It's a Halloween-themed novella. We're only doing a set amount of dual-signed copies. So if you want to reach out to us, you can, Daniel, you all right, bud?
No, I'm good.
He's so sorry.
Yeah, he's so sorry, but if you want one of the dual signed limited edition packs, go ahead and email us at you can email the Written and Read podcast at gmail.com or just reach out to us on social media. Daniel, you want to add anything to that or?
Yeah, it's a great book. I think it's been getting a lot of good feedback from the people that have read it and finished it up. So, like Aaron said, these packages are limited. We're only doing one run just because it was difficult to arrange everything. So we're almost just about out of them. So if you guys want them, either reach out on social media or like Aaron said, shoot us an email and we'll get them situated. Probably by the time this airs, we'll have most of the initial run mailed out, but guys, we're mailing them out left and right. So reach out to us. Get this limited shit now.
Yeah.
Also, man, what's his name? Brandon. That trailer that he did for you guys, sick. That was the best trailer I ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shout out to Brandon and Ryan.
Look the trailer up.
Oh my god, it's great.
Yeah, it was really. He did a great job.
Effects.
Carver, you want to talk about yourself?
Sure.
And your mask.
Carver Pike. I guess we're saying goodbye right now, so you can catch me everywhere as Carver Pike on all social media and stuff, and now I'm just back on Amazon pretty much. I just released The Maddening. That's the final book in the Diablo Snuff series that wraps everything up. All the other books in the series can be read in any order that you want. It starts with The Four and Evil, but The Maddening definitely needs to be read last. So please check that one out. That one just came out on the 16th of October, so it's brand new. Please grab that one and check it out.
And I'm Roland Berthy. You can find me on my website, which I just kind of updated a little bit. So it's rolandberthyjr.com. Got my new story pre-Thanksgiving. Well, not new. Solo release pre-Thanksgiving Stress Disorder coming out pretty soon. So you can send me a message on Facebook. I have a Twitter, but it's private because it's all nasty stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah, and I'll just briefly add to that. I'm working on some audiobooks and shit too, so look forward. I got a Wedding Day Massacre. I forgot to mention this Wedding Day Massacre audiobook that's going to be out. I know a lot of my readers have been saying I need to fucking get on that, so I'm definitely trying to address it. But we hope you guys enjoy this Halloween episode. It'll be out before Halloween, and I will say, as usual, we want to say, keep it 100% horror. But I will say this, in addition to the 100% horror, is that make sure you question everything. Because someday you may not be able to question anything.